How far are you willing to go? The drive, the sweat, the blood, the tears, your determination through the pain and all the suffering, people overlooking you, telling you that you're not good enough. You have to believe that you're great. And with you believing that you're great, anything you want to do, you can achieve. No one can stop you. Only you can stop yourself. Keep driving. Keep uplifting yourself. Keep going. Keep going. Nothing, and no one can stop you. That goal you want, you can achieve it. How you inspire people is going to be up to you. Keep going. Never give up. Never give up. Keep going. Never give up.
What's going on? What's going on? It's your boy IKone. And we here on 910 Sports TV once again. First and foremost, I want to thank God for this opportunity because without Him, there would be no us to be on this platform. So from there, I'm introduced to the right of me, and we're gonna just go down from there. So I got the coach, saying the greatest coach in American history in my eyes. You know what I'm saying? And I'm gonna call him Johnny Appleseed today because he out planting trees and stuff this morning. So I'm gonna call him John Appleseed, aka John Appleseed. So I got Coach Goins. What's going on, family?
Hey man, this Saturday night, and I'm ready to rock and roll, and I'm glad we got our guest on. So let's make it happen.
All right, and then down there on the bottom, I probably gonna keep the hat on because you know what I'm saying. He on the daddy hat on there a couple of minutes ago, so I was about to I was about to mess with him a little bit and be like, you know what I'm saying, like Eddie Murphy in life, boy, you better not say nothing about no watch. You better not say nothing about that hat. You know what I'm saying? But I got my brother from another mother. I got Jacob the Great. What's going on, fam?
Oh man, blessed to be in the land of the living. Another day, another opportunity, man. So let's get into this awesome interview.
Where you put that hat at? Where you put that hat at? You you
Right there
should
on the
put it
hanger.
up.
Right
It's
there on the
over by
hanger.
the
Okay.
fireplace.
You didn't put that hat on before we end the show. But go ahead and introduce this young man so we get started.
Man, we have man, South Carolina native now residing in the Chi, Chicago. Um, defensive end, linebacker, you know, just a defensive player that read defenses and all, man. We have none other than Chris Goodwin. What's going on, sir? How you doing?
I'm great. Thank y'all for having me for this opportunity. First things first, I'm gonna give my praise to the Most High. He the first love of my life. He taught me everything I know.
All right, all right. So, man, where did where did football start for you at?
Football starts as I want to say a mentor in my life. You know, thinking way back to my Pop Warner days, it really like shaped the man I developed into over the years. And it's a crucial part of how I live my life and my personality as well.
Okay, okay, okay. So from that, man, that's man. I really must say, out of all the young athletes that we've interviewed on here, nobody has gave us a grand opening like that. Because you're definitely God driven, and so with you being God driven, that means that you aim to be the best at everything you do. Correct?
Of course, I know he got my back for as long as I live, so there's nothing I can't do.
I can dig it. I can dig it, man. So tell me about how you came to own that position, defensive end. Man, that's a big position. It's a hard position, and
Oh yeah,
that position don't take no prisoners.
not at all. Uh, well, first I started as a right guard in my Pop Warner days. For some reason I just couldn't get the handle up. I just missed my blocks, everything, all of that. Swap to this side, try this side, boom, getting put on my butt. And I just came to find out. that defense was my calling because I'm not here to protect nobody. I'm here to go hit somebody. So I swapped the defense. My coach told me that the only use were 4-point stands, and I mean from there I just became a dog. I mean, breaking through people like. So it's really became my first like true experience of football when I switched to defensive end. I fell in love with it that instant. And on from there, played in middle school, high school, and I do continue to play it for how long my career go.
Okay. And so, what is the biggest challenge and obstacle that you faced on playing defensive end?
You got to be mentally tough. I say you got to be mentally tough because picture this: you in fourth quarter, your team down. I mean, got that weight on you, that pressure on you. Like, oh, we got to get this stop. And when you getting like beat off the line constantly, it kind of takes a toll on your mental. So you got to really like just hunker down and like close out all distractions and really just play your game. And that's what I've been doing for my past years.
Okay. So, as far as getting your techniques down and really understanding, how agile you got to be and understanding, that's a position where you got to be constantly quick off the ball. That you got to beat your man. So, what are some players that inspired you to even go harder?
My favorite player to watch would be Myles Garrett. I look at his film all the time. I see what he do, and I try to copy it in all my games. I think that's my most inspiring player.
Okay. Well, it's not a bad player to be inspired by. So,
Not at all.
all
Not
right,
at all.
no doubt. Coach Goins, over to you.
All right, so Chris, man, we appreciate your time tonight. So I know you're getting it done on the field. So as a former coach, I'm gonna talk about how you getting it done in the classroom. I know
Okay.
Jacob DeGrady sent us your bio and a little background on that, and I kind of jumped down in that thing, and I seen a 3.2 GPA. So how about telling the listening and watching audience the importance of getting it done in the classroom?
Well, my coaches always say, if you can't do it in there, you most definitely can't do it out here. So I really take that to heart. Try to complete all my work on time. My mom is a great support in that. She keeps me on my feet. You know, with all my assignments, and she really like that. That shining star.
Yeah, that's a great answer. And again, that's just kudos for your mom. Shout out for her and that guidance. So your defensive end. So tell us about that technique. How you keep that outside arm free and work that contains. So for the folks that are trying to learn the game of football, maybe some of the Dallas fans, they looking for some tips on how to pass that down. So tell us how you work that technique to keep your outside arm free as the play comes your way.
It's real simple. You don't look at the man in front of you. You really just keep your eyes on that ball. I mean, picture that man like he's just like a wall that you just got to bust down.
Mm,
You know,
excellent.
yeah.
Yep, excellent. All right, IKone, I see you, bro.
All right. So I got a question. So I was reading your bio, and we have a lot of athletes on here, but you had one thing on there that jumped in my eyes, and I said, "Wow!" When I said, "What in the world is a waterless car wash?"
Yeah.
So first of all, you're gonna have to break this down to us because I know all of us been around here we've been around since Moses, and so we got to know what in the world is a water. Y'all may know, I don't know, I ain't never heard of this. What in the world is a waterless car wash?
Well, to break it down in simple terms, a waterless car wash is what it says it is. A waterless car wash. All my products are used with no water at all, no stains, no none of that. We actually got our products from Hawaii, and they're the main supporters in this. Like trying to keep the water and all that, the over usage of all that. And I'm a high thinker to that because I feel like if this planet is housing us and keeping us alive, I mean, the least we can do is give back to it, like just a little bit. So I'm a true supporter of that. I started this in 2020 during the COVID pandemic, and I felt like it was just a nice thing to do for people who didn't want to be out, with all this COVID going on. So I would have them email me, and I come out and do their car. Let's see, and then I'll take a picture of it, send them. They'll give me a 5-star rating almost every time. It just became a thing that's like, wow, like, I really can like make a change with this, you know.
Okay, so if I'm standing out here watching you wash the car, I'm trying to grasp this. If I'm standing out here watching you wash this car, so what is it looking like? Take us through a day of you washing the car, unless it's a secret. So what are you doing to wash this car? I'm just trying to grasp this right now.
Well, I can't tell you everything. I mean, some things
Okay.
are secret, but it all come down to my products. I have my microfiber cloth. I have all my chemicals, all my sprays and whatnot, and I get it done almost under 40 minutes. Because all my products is exterior and interior, so I get everything done. Every crevice, every crack, everything get done.
Okay, so I'm gonna ask you one last question about it. We're gonna move on. So yeah, so basically,
Boy,
is it did you work? Did you like have a part-time job and invest in yourself, or did you have like your mom invest in you? Like what once you had the idea to do it, was it an investment from somebody else, or was it just you taking money that you might have worked for, whatever, however to do
First, it started with me and my mom, and we just kind of made this idea of a waterless car wash. It'll be good for the pandemic and whatever. So we invest some money in that to get the products, and eventually I just took over. I understood it. I made my website. And it just became a fun thing for me. So she stepped back, I took over, and basically like, call me a CEO or something.
Boy, yeah, you definitely might. You need to go to Shark Tank with this idea. That's crazy.
we,
Yeah,
we need to go to the car wash.
yeah, exactly. But
And it's cheaper. It's
anyway, so
definitely cheaper.
what part of Chicago are you from?
Right now, I think I live on north side. Yeah.
North side. You said right now. So did you ever live on another side of Chicago?
I believe I live on the south when I first got here.
Okay, so yeah, that's what I'm getting to. So you lived on the south side of Chicago, and for us out here in other parts of the country, we've always heard it being the south side and the west side being the worst parts of Chicago. And basically, at one time or another, Chicago even considered the murder capital of the world, or whatever, at some point. So, what did you ever get um, introduced or around the activity that was going on in the streets, as far as just, having to stay focused so you wouldn't get distracted and get pulled in?
I mean, for me, it was just kind of like another distraction I gotta avoid. 'Cause that's not my body. That's not nothing I'm affiliated with. So I really just kept my head down out of that stuff. And I'm here for one thing only, which is to pursue my dreams. And that's about it. I really try to stay away from all that stuff because it's not good for your mental. It's not good for your physical. None of that.
Okay, and so in that being said, was there anybody close friendship wise that you lost to the streets during your time that you've been out there?
There was a fella I went to school with. His name was Marcus. He dropped out not too long ago, and I guess he just went to the streets. I tried to convince him not to, and told him like there's no good way out of that. 'Cause once you get in, you pretty much stuck there. Even though you think you out, you pretty much stuck there for the rest of your life. So I really try to convince him to come back to school, pursue his education. But
Okay, okay. So getting back to the football part of things, middle linebacker. So a linebacker, outside linebacker. So what's the mental part of it, or even the physical part of it that's different from playing on that end?
it's a lot less pressure, I believe. I mean, you have a lot more time to think about what you actually about to do in the play. So for me, I mean, it's definitely easier. It's an easier position to play.
Okay, Jacob.
All right, so with you playing that defensive end, man, and you transferring from Drill High School in South Carolina, which I'm very familiar with because I'm from South Carolina. So I'm very familiar with Drill, and I'm very familiar with how they do things. So that transition from Columbia, South Carolina to Chicago, Illinois, how was that transition for you, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually?
It's a big change, culturally, spiritually. I mean, everything is just different, you know. And I really had to like use what I learned from staying there and living there, the people and what they taught me. I really took that to heart when I moved up here, because I know all those lessons was going to help me, you know, in my long run. So all those teaching, all those lectures from church, all that that really helped me out up here and held me down during this transition in my life.
Okay. So what was the most memorable game for you when you said in your mind, in your heart, in your soul, I own this defensive end position. Nobody is better. When I step on the field, I'm the best. When did you get that?
That would be freshman year in my final game of the season. Uh, I believe we was on our last play and we needed the touchdown to win this one. And it snapped. I look for the ball. I see the running back. Boom, hit him. That ball dropped. And I picked that thing up and ran it all the way home. And then that's when I knew like I could really do this.
Okay. And with that being said, man, what is your favorite thing about your conditioning? Because I asked your mother. I said, man, how big is? She said, what she told me, 5'11", 225, something like that. And I was like, and see how I was 17. I said, well, just be prepared because he probably gonna grow some more inches. And so when you are conditioning, man, what is your favorite thing to work on? Is it your upper? Is it your legs? What is your whole body? But what is your favorite thing to give you that brute strength coming off that line?
It's definitely my legs. You know, that's where all the power coming from. You getting off that ball, all the power come from my legs. So I really try to work on that a lot because I know I got to be explosive because I'm not the biggest guy. I'm not the biggest guy on the line, so I have to be explosive. I got to be fast. I got to beat those guys before they beat me.
Okay. Okay. Hmm. I can definitely dig it, man. So, uh,
Breaking up.
what?
Okay.
Can you hear my car?
Yeah, I can hear you.
With that being okay, with that being said, what is your favorite defense formation?
Up here we run a thing called cowboy, and cowboy is basically just a straight blitz. Everybody getting to the quarterback, and I love it to death because I know I'm gonna hit somebody. No, nobody's getting out of this play unscathed. Somebody getting hit.
Mhm. Okay then. Okay. That's interesting. Blitzing. You know what I mean? Sort of like they still curtain or the 85 Bears or like that. So I understand. Oh, you coach going?
Well, I appreciate you talking about that steel curtain because that's where I was gonna kind of ask Chris about. So for on the NFL, so I know you missed. I know you mentioned who you really patting yourself after, but do you have a favorite NFL franchise?
A favorite that would be the Carolina Panthers.
The Carolina Panthers. All right. Well, we ain't gonna talk about what they did last night, and our boy
Oh
from
snap, brother.
Colorado went down and and
Bingo.
took care of business. That's a different show. But no, I understand that. And again, I'm originally from North Carolina, and the Panthers weren't there, but it's good to see that area be able to bring a team in. So, and here's the thing: what I really like when you said the Carolina Panthers, there was a guy, there was a linebacker there, that Sam Mills, right? He wasn't he wasn't 6 foot, but he anchored that defense. So I encourage you, if you haven't seen him, look him up. I think he'd definitely be able to help your game, because he wasn't that 6'5", 6'4" guy. He was a small guy, but he was a heck of a ball player. And God rest his soul. So here's my next question. So as you get ready to look in the whole NIL deals, and it's so hard now for guys to get a D1 scholarship coming straight out of high school. Have you thought about that, to what kind of track or what way you think you need to proceed if you're looking at playing at the next level?
Really, I try not to look at the money too much. Money is a great thing. It's a wonderful thing, but I'm really trying to find like where would I be the most? Where would home be at? I'm really trying to find that feel. So I'm taking my time. I'm not rushing through this college process. I'm trying to look over here, look over there, north, south, see what fits me, and fits me personally.
Yeah, that's a good call out. And also, I toss this out. Make sure in that situation you ask the coach. Once you get in there, you interview that coach, right? So if old Coach Goins could throw something out to you, make sure you find out how long that coach's contract's up, right? Because the guy may come in and he may be on this last year, and he brings you in, and the next year new coach comes in, and then there you are. So make sure you interview that coach as you sitting across from him, because you're grounded, man. I can just hear it. You're focused. A lot of young guys don't, talk about their mom and the attributes that she's brought to the table and to help you develop to be your young man, that you going in the right direction. So I commend you on that. So with that, I see IKone in the back of end zone. I'm going to act like Shador last night. I'm gonna lead him and drop that dime on him.
Well, it's funny. I want to piggyback real quick off of what you said, Coach. And I think what a lot of players, the biggest problem you see with a lot of players over the years, and going back to the heydays, is when they go to a school, they get so much caught up in who the coach is, and if the coach leaves, then they feel they're lost, or they don't know what to do with themselves. So I would say to this young man, focus on the actual program itself. Focus on what it can do for you educational wise, and those type of things more than anything else. Because the one thing that you said in this interview that impressed me more than anything is you talked about the environment, and when you started your car wash and everything, and you don't hear the two things you don't not hear, and I'm just gonna keep it real with you. You don't hear a black man talk about environment, and you don't hear a young man at your age talking about the environment. So what? So basically, what is that being said? College wise, when the lights finally cut off, so we know you can't play football forever. What is it that you would educational wise would you be focusing on?
Well, I've been taking engineering classes for the couple past years now, and I really found another love in that. I took a 2 year class, and I'm just so impressed with all the machinery. I love how it works, and it pays good money. So that's just a win-win in my book.
Okay, and so now going back to the school thing. Because I seen in your bio you had a few schools, that big name schools. I ain't gonna say who they are, because I don't want to give away your whole, what you probably, what schools you got most interest in. But you named a few big schools in your bio. So, what's the top maybe 5 things that you're looking for when you're looking at a program and saying, okay, they check all the boxes.
I'm really looking for one, honesty. You gotta have honesty. You gotta have fairness. And I think I should be coached by the values that I'm in line with. I feel like because some coaches, they'll do anything to get to that get to that win, and I'm not like that. I mean, I really value what I think up here and in here, and if that's not happening, I can't be a part of that team.
Okay. Now, I'm gonna get deeper with you on this questions because because Coach just talked about Shador, and we all know that whether right, wrong, or indifferent, they most focused on Shador being too arrogant or too whatever. So we heard about all the great things about Chris Goodwin. But when you sit down, there's going one of them coaches that's going to ask Chris. So what do you need to improve on when it on that football field? What's that one thing or a couple of things that that you don't have yet that you need to get better at?
I think that'll be my chemistry with other players, because I see myself as a monitor. I monitor everybody. I see how they talk to other people, read them in the locker room, or read them on the game, and like I be seeing some stuff. So like I gotta be cool. I gotta be cool with this dude until this game over with, and then I just can't do nothing with it. So that's really hard for me, because I I value, like I said before, I value what I have in here and up here a lot.
So you saying like when you're in the locker room, sometimes you may be too quiet when you maybe need to be more vocal,
Yeah,
or you know what I mean about how you feel about a teammate may not being a team player or doing something that you feel like they should be doing differently. That you're saying that you should be more vocal on that.
yeah.
Okay, cool. Okay, Jacob, back to you again.
Okay, now the brotherhood is important, but I'm gonna talk about your bloodline, your sibling line. Now, you have a brother that plays arena football for the Charlotte team. And so, what are those conversations like with you and him when y'all talking about, the football field and your future plans and maybe his future plans? What are those conversations like?
Oh man, he really just my personal coach. He taught me everything I know from a young age. He developed me as the player I am today. And I owe him a lot. I owe him a lot for those lessons he taught me, and I really stuck with him throughout my football career. But those conversations we have really just come down to, don't forget who you are and don't forget where you came from. Hold all these lessons I'm telling you. Hold all these lessons. Keep them in here because you're gonna need them. And I really took that to heart.
Okay. And so, what you're saying, I'm a I'm gonna put it down in my terms. There's always gonna be lessons in your blessings. Correct?
That's right.
My man, my man. That's what I'm talking about. And so, and I me and your mom talked this morning, and she told me it's another business that you got. You're quite the entrepreneur. I must say so myself. So tell me about the LD lighting business when you come to people's house and you kind of like turn their house into a whole showroom.
Oh man, but I just started as a little pipe dream I had. For my birthday, I wanted to do a little project for my room. Made these LED type cloud-ish lights that you put in your ceiling up here. And I thought to myself, like, you know what? I feel like a lot of people would like this, and I got to get this seen. So I posted on Instagram. I posted on my Facebook. You know, like, and it got a whole lot of traction for no reason. I was not expecting that, but it seemed like a lot of people liked it and like wanted to be like, oh, how you do that? How you do this? I'm like, okay, let me use my entrepreneur mind and come up for something like this. So I made this little poster. I put it online. I'll get the supplies, the polyester, the LED lights. I come over, put it up on your ceiling, and then you pay me. I go home. Simple as that. Simple sugar. And it just blew up.
You know what? Coach Goins, go ahead, bro. I'm just, I'm lost of words, man. Coach Goins, go. I'm lost of words, man. I'm just lost of words,
No,
man.
no, what I'm gonna have him do, Jack, I'm gonna have him come down there and put some of them lights on your fireplace. How about if we sch- we schedule that right there? But no, here's what I see, Chris. I see that you're a visionary, right? So and as a young age, you got a gift, and so with that gift, I want to challenge you with something you said earlier about possibly sometimes in your locker room and you may keep a little bit of quietness. So I'm going to challenge you with this thing. Take a look, go on, and I know there's some, and I wish I could give you the pinpoint address for this, but it's called influencing without authority, right? Because they're your teammates, and you guys in the same age, same locker room, but it's called influencing without authority. Take a look at that, and I think that may help you along the way. Just because you're not their coach doesn't mean that you can't influence them. Because somebody's looking, because you are cutting edge and a visionary that you are with all of the things that again, as you said, in your head, in your heart, and that's where it starts. If it ain't in your heart, you can't get right. So with that, here's where I want to go. So you've come out of college, right, and you've done your internship, and you've like, hey man, I call this question after the cheering stops. So where do you see your dream job? Is it up north? Is it in down south? Or are you willing to go anywhere? What's on your mind?
I believe I'm a go back south. I mean, it's what I know. It's not freakishly cold, and I think I'll be better off there and then up here.
Okay, all right. I understand that. There's some, sometimes there's a little. I did a little dibbling in the city, but ain't nothing like that country life, man. I love it. I love it. But again, just tremendous job, and just keep that focus, keep that passion. Make sure you stay humble and make sure you take care of your mom. And what I also like, what you always saying that you always got that bag, right? So you're a backpack guy, right? So every step of the way, brick by brick by brick, you're taking stuff from what old coaches, new coaches, you constantly dropping that in your backpack. So when you show up, you can unload and be ready to roll. So let me toss it over to IKone.
Okay, so basically, going back to like, okay, you go from you go your freshman year in college. Let's think ahead a little bit. You get your freshman year in college, and you're on that football field. What is your goal in your mind that you want to achieve that first year in college?
I really want to put my name on the spot. I really want people to know who I am, what I stand for. I really just want to. I just want to get out there. I want to put my family on the spot. I want to do good to thank them for get me that far, get me into college. 'Cause that's not no small feat. Taking
Mm,
taking the boy from South Carolina all the way through college. So
okay,
I think I'm a do it for my family, do it for my friends, and basically pay them back.
okay. So basically, so we're gonna have a little fun. What is basically well, we're gonna start here. What's your top five defensive players all time?
Hmm,
Top five.
that's a great question.
Mm, okay. I want to say Ray Lewis,
Mhm.
Warren Sapp,
Ooh,
Miles Garrett, T.J. Watt, and Aaron Donald.
okay, not a bad list at all. That's not a bad list at all. So for people, if they want to know who Christopher is, what's your go to meal? What's your go to meal?
I go to Mill, man. It's hit you up some Zaxby's, man. That's all I gotta say. Get you a little Zaxby's meal, drink on the side. You'll be straight for the night. I promise.
You said Zaxby's. I'm gonna tell. Okay, well, if you like Zaxby's, I don't think they got them in Chicago. I think you ever ate Cane's? Cane's,
Yeah, Canes too.
I get to say, Cane's to me is better than Zaxby's. I ain't gonna lie. I almost dang near wreck my car if I see a cane somewhere when I'm traveling. You know what I'm saying? So that's definitely. So when you're not playing football or whatever. What you doing in your downtime?
Uh, for me, I love writing. I do a lot of poetry. I do a lot of poetry. Just on my current emotions, what I think throughout the day. Uh, Play a little bit of that game, you know. But what I really love is fishing, which I haven't got to do in a while. But
Ooh,
Hey, man.
I
ooh,
Come on
love
back.
fishing.
Come on
Uh,
back to the
ooh,
Carolinas, man. Come on
ooh,
back to the
uh,
Carolinas.
ooh,
Oh
Come on
man,
back to the Carolinas where you belong, man.
ooh.
For sure.
Hey man, he talking that language right there, Jacob.
Yes,
I'm about to
sir.
say,
Yes,
but you done
sir.
stirred,
Yes,
you done
sir.
stirred up
Oh
some of these
boy,
two brothers right
boy,
there.
put that
Yes,
open
sir.
face on there, put some spider wire on that thing, boy. 10 pound test, let's go get him.
mm-mm.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And shout out to your mom, Miss Ross, for tapping in with us. Yeah, Chris for the win. That's right, Chris for the win. You're absolutely right. So, but yeah, Chris, man, listen, it's so relaxing, man. Whether you big mouth bass fishing, a large striped bass, or whether you want to fry them and have some grits with the brim and the crappie, you know what I mean, uh, or whether you want to go down to Florida on the coast and fish for some of that red snapper. You
Mm.
know what I mean?
Oh
Eat
yeah,
with your eat
definitely
with your
plan
rice
on
and your beans and your carrots and your potatoes. You know what I mean?
Mm.
Listen,
Yes,
listen,
sir.
Yeah,
listen.
yeah, yeah.
So
So,
Chris, I got one more football question to ask you, man. What piques your interest about a coach in the way they coach? What interests you the most about a coaching style?
I think I like a coach that can bring the whole team together. Team together.
Mm. That's good.
Love a coach like that. Like because these players come from all walks of life, come from everywhere, every state. And if you can bring a whole group of guys together like that, I feel that's very special.
Okay. And the next question is, what do you think stands out when a player has awesome leadership ability? What piques your interest about a player that has leadership ability?
He's going to do great. He's going to do great. You got to be a leader in some sort of way in football. Got to be. It's got to be in you.
Okay,
um,
okay. Coaches?
Yeah, I know. I was reading about. I got one. You're a music guy, right?
Oh yeah.
Not everybody plays the instruments that you play. So how'd you get into? I mean, you like okay, you know what? How does a man of color? You know, he's playing the instruments that you. So how'd you get into that? You got to tell me.
Funny story. It was I believe it was fifth grade. I was picking my classes for the year, and I wanted double PE. I wanted two classes of PE, but they said I couldn't do it. So he was either band or orchestra. I was like, man, I don't want to do none of that. So I just picked one. I said orchestra. I was like, okay, orchestra. So I got into that. I started playing the cello. Uh, but I found out, fell in love with it. I'm like, okay, I really like this. I really understand the music. Love the I love the way it's cello. And I took that all the way through middle school to high school. I started in middle school. I started the tuba as well, so I started playing both of those.
Right. Wow. Wow. That's it, man. That's excellent. So, you know, as when you touching all the bases and that's culturally, and that's gonna help you so far down the road to be able to, not only, you come up, you're an entrepreneur, you're able to, you read sheet music, you're on the gridiron, you're taking care of the class, in the classroom, so you're touching all the bases, and the sky's the limit, man. So if you're ever in Virginia, come down, back down the way, you're gonna have to hook up with Jacob. Jake can get me on the horn so I can drop down and show you guys how to bring them big mouths to the bank, and we'll hoist one up.
Okay, I got you.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
IKone.
So, Icon.
yeah. So I've got one last question. So you're a very well-rounded individual. I'm very impressed by you. and I know you're gonna do very big things in your future endeavors. So, what out of all the things, being a musician, poetry, on the field, entrepreneur, what in your eyes has been your biggest accomplishment up to this far, as far as what you feel most proud about the things you've done?
I feel like it's my entrepreneurship, my business. That's the main thing that gives me motivation because I know I can't do football forever, and when it's all said and done, I'm gonna need something to fall back on. Boom, I got my business. So yeah, that really definitely motivates me more to get through this path of life, and on to the next.
And I got one last question for you. So you got your friends around you, your core friends, your people around you. How many of those people that you actually, when you go to them and say, "I got this idea," one, do you try to incorporate and they take you seriously about want to get involved? And two, that they be like, "Here go Chris again," whatever. So in other words, the people that you around you, do you try to incorporate them as much, or at least push them to push their ideas more? So I know, like my friends and family, if somebody come to me and say, "I got an idea, I want to do something," and I'm like, "What you waiting on?" I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Are you one of those type of people who be like, "What you waiting on?" You know what I'm saying?
I love motivating other people, and especially my friends. I I try to put them on my waterless car wash. Try to put them on my LED lights. We actually shared that for a while, the LED company between the three of us, and we all did it together. We all split the money, and I think we can pursue that if we really like take it serious. We can definitely pursue that in the future.
Okay. Well, tell everybody, brother, where they can find you at, and then tell us where the one your next your first game coming up. I don't know if y'all played yet, 'cause I know school bought in a lot of places. So just tell people where they can find you at, and then if they want to catch you, at least your first game of the season. When is that gonna be?
Our first game gonna be August 21st. It's gonna be located in Ohio. We ain't got the location just yet, but that's coming soon. You can catch me on all platforms. Next up, Chris NXT UP Chris on everything. Probably sub Twitter, but I'm getting that up.
Okay, okay. Now where are you ranked in you know where you ranked that in the top whatever, the top 300?
I'm not sure.
Oh, okay, okay, all right. Well, I know it's coming. I know you're gonna be up there. You're gonna be hot. I can see it coming. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, brother, I appreciate you coming on. You got something to say, Jacob?
Yeah, let me say this.
Oh,
Hey Chris, if you have any huddle film or any max prep film, send it to me
Okay.
and I'll pass it on to Coach Goins. I'll pass it on to IKone, and I'll pass it on to other collegiate coaches that's looking to bring new talent in. And so make sure I get the film, your height, your weight, what position you play, and your GPA.
Okay. I appreciate that. Thank you.
So back to you,
okay.
IKone.
Well, all right. Well, I appreciate you coming on, and I
Absolutely.
God bless your mom for letting you come on or whatever. So I hope we did right by you and your mom, because one thing we don't try to do is we don't try to exploit the kids or try to, put you in a position where you feel uncomfortable. We want you to come on here anytime you feel like it. Talk about whatever you got going on. You know what I'm saying? I don't care if you're in college or if you're off in the NFL, knocking heads off. You know what I'm saying? We want you to always feel like this is home for you. You can always come back and talk about whatever you want to talk about, whether it's a product, whether it's a new product you're gonna have out here in the future. Because I know when that money come in, you might have all kind of ideas
Yeah,
to come
fishing
through
lure.
then. You know what I'm
Fishing
saying?
lure.
So we definitely want to be able to push your product, or like you say, Jacob said, support you in anything you're doing with your career. So I appreciate you coming on, and have a blessed and wonderful weekend. And you know what I'm saying, and knock them heads off and on the football field this year.
Of course.
All right. Appreciate you. Y'all have a good one.
Take care, guys.
All right. One.